Did you see my YouTube channel? No?
No, sir.
No. Actually, all right. What syllabus we have in the first chapter is reproduction. Reproduction. What is reproduction? Then a characteristic features of all living organisms for continuation of species, mode of reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, that is binary, sporulation, budding, gemule formation, fragmentation. Vegetative propagation in plants, events in sexual reproduction. All right. These are things which we have. What is reproduction? Lifespan. It is a period from birth to natural death of organism. Natural death. It concerns only with the natural death identifier. Reproduction. It is a process in which an organism gives rise to young ones, offsprings, through which cycle is maintained. Types of reproduction. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, like we already know. Asexual reproduction. The production of offsprings by a single parent is known as asexual reproduction. Single parent, highlight this. Single parent is known as asexual reproduction. The offspring produced asexually identical to one another, and also to their parents. Such morphological and genetically similar individuals are known as clones. It is usually seen in unicellular organisms and in plants and animals which have simple body organization. Different types of asexual reproduction. Fission. In this, the parent cells divide into two or more individuals. Parent cell divide into two or more individuals. Example, protists, monadians. Different methods of asexual reproduction. First, fission. Fission is of two types. Binary fission. It is the division of parent cell into two individuals. Example, amoeba, paramecium. I'll show this picture. I've completely taken that picture in another page. Multiple fission. It is the division of parent cell into many individuals. Example, plasmodium. Many individuals, plasmodium. What is budding? The formation of daughter individuals from a small projection, the bud, arising from the parent body is called budding. It occurs in yeast, sponges, hydra, etc. Right? Other reproductive structure, zoospores, motile spores, motile, it moves, all right? Found in algae, fungi, and protists. Conidia, non-motile spores in penicillium. Gemutes, internal buds of sponges, spongylia, all right? Vegetative propagation. In certain plants, vegetative propagules, the unit of vegetative propagation such as runner, rhizomes, sucker, tuber, offset, and bulb. Arise from the nodes of modified stem. When the nodes come in contact with damp soil or water, they produce roots and new plants. Ice in potato. Emergence of small plant from buds, ice of potato tuber. If you see a potato, there will be small dark spots, all right? These are known as ice of potato. From these, a small bud arises. In a potato, all right? In a potato, there will be dark spots here and there. From this, small buds arises. These buds will be falling down and forming their own vegetative, from this vegetative part, a new plant group, all right? Potato tubers. Then rhizomes of banana and ginger. Adventitious buds arise from notches present at the margin of the leaves, bryophyllum. What is this? if there is a stalk, from the axil, a small bud arises. From the axil, a small bud arises. This one fall down and provide and separate plant. In leaves of Bryophyllum too, there are small rooted leaves, right, buds. This will fall down and automatically it will form a bud. Then bulbil, fleshy bulb in agave, which function as vegetative propagules. Then what is sporulation? During unfavorable conditions, some organisms get surrounded by a resistant three-layered hard covering called cyst, right? Hard covering called cyst. Unfavorable condition. Consider now. Now it is really hot, isn't it? What does mosquitoes eggs does now? There is not that much mosquitoes. How come? Because they are sporulated. The eggs of mosquito will be covered by a layer known as cyst, which is protecting the mosquito egg from destruction. Hence, when the favorable condition arises, these eggs will be liberated. This is known as sporulation. All right. Inside the cyst, number of spores are present. These spores get liberated during favorable condition, and this process is called sporulation. Example, amoeba. Then fragmentation, a type of asexual reproduction where an organism splits into fragments, each fragment develops into new organisms. Example, Spirogyra sponges. Terror of Bengal. Water hyacinth is known as terror of Bengal because it grows rapidly and enormously and hampers the growth of native species and eliminates them. This is known as blue devil. Terror of Bengal. All right. Then these are the important diagrams. East. All right. Budding of yeast. From east, it will slowly, there will be division, and this daughter nuclei will be separated and form a new yeast cell. This is how we can easily form yeast. All right. Yeast is we can use yeast also and in curd also. We use the lactobacillus bacteria, which is in curd, and when this curd is added to the milk, automatically in the morning it will convert itself into curd. All right, that is due to excessive asexual reproduction. All right, then budding in hydra. See, this is the bud. This bud will fall down and it forms new hydra. Then amoeba, fission in amoeba. Slowly, there will be pseudo cells, isn't it? This walls will be constructed. It will slowly construct itself, and the nuclear division starts, and cytoplasm also get reduced. We came across this in mitosis and meiosis, cytokinesis and karyokinesis last year, right? After this, these two cells would become identical daughter cells, fission and amoeba, right? Then, okay, but I will add extra notes with this. All right, these are the things which we have to work on. Then, what are the revision notes on asexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction. This is topic 2. This lesson is being converted into 2 topics: sexual and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. This is also a very important topic for us. Sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, okay, I'll do a thing. First, let's revise with these topics. You start revising for this topic, and I will slowly add the requirement for the sexual reproduction and start with it. I want you to, I'll be giving you 3 minutes time. Within that time limit, I want you to go through this topic completely. All right, read through these things. Hope you completed the first part. Next, go through this one. Have you completed, Ma?
Yes, sir.
But vegetative propagation you have completed, isn't it? No. Until budding you have completed. Okay. Other reproductive structure. Move on with this. Next, go through these things: sporulation, fermentation, and terror of Bengal. Then these are the diagrams related with it. Next, we have to start with the next topic, sexual reproduction. Are you there, Ma?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll start with sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of male and female gametes, either by same individual or by different individual of opposite sex. It results in production of offsprings that are non-identical, genetically different from the parents, or amongst themselves. All the living organisms pass through these three stages: juvenile phase, reproductive phase, and senescent phase. Now you are in juvenile phase, right? Juvenile phase. What is this juvenile phase? This is the period of growth of an individual organism after its birth, before it reaches the reproductive maturity. All right. You're into the next phase, juvenile to reproductive phase now, in between phase. It is known as vegetative phase in plants, an early phase of the life cycle. Reproductive phase. In this phase, the life cycle where the growth of individual is slowed down, but it develops the potentiality of reproduction. Senescent phase. This is the period when the organism grows old, loses its ability to reproduce. All right. In female, it is also known as after this menopause. All right. After that menopause. Next. In higher plant, flowering indicates the end of vegetative phase and beginning of reproductive phase. Annual and biennial plant shows clear-cut vegetative, reproductive, and senescent phase. But in perennial species, it is very difficult to identify these phases. Annual and biennial. What is annual plants and biennial plants? What is annual plants and biennial plants, and also the perennial plants? No idea? You should have some idea regarding annual. What is annual? What is biennial? And what is perennial species? Okay. What is annual is when the plant's lifetime, the complete lifetime of the plant from birth, that is sprouting, from seedling sprouting to the end, to its death, happens within a year. Then it is known as annual plants. Biennial plants, which have its lifetime as 2 years, is known as biennial, and perennial, more than 2 years. All the trees, some of the shrubs also have these perennial type. In perennial, we can't especially identify this senescent phase at all. Some plants exhibit unusual flowering phenomena. They flower only once in their lifetime and are called monocarpic. Monocarpic. Only once they will flower in their lifetime. Example, bamboo species flower only once in their lifetime, after 50 to 100 years. Produce a large number of fruits and die. Then Strobilanthus kunthianus, known as Nilakurinji, flowers only in 12 years. குறிஞ்சி பூ அப்படின்ட்டு வந்து சொல்லுவோம் தமிழ்ல. 12 வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு வாட்டி தான் வந்து once in 12 years only it will flower. In animals, the juvenile phase is followed by morphological and physiological changes before to active reproductive behavior. Birds living in nature lay eggs only seasonally. However, birds in captive, example poultry, throughout the year. All right, eggs throughout the year. Ostrich cycle. The female of the placental mammals exhibit cyclic changes in the activities of ovaries, accessory ducts, and hormones during the reproductive phase. These cyclic changes Sorry for the interruption. I was getting a call. The females of placental mammals exhibit cyclic changes in the activities of ovaries, accessory ducts, and hormones during the reproductive phase. These cyclic changes are called hysterocycle. In non-primates such as cow, sheep, rat, deer, dog, tiger. It is called as menstrual cycle in primates such as monkeys, apes, and humans. All right, apes and humans. Seasonal breeders. One minute. Seasonal breeders, the mammals which live in natural condition exhibit reproductive cycle only during favorable seasons and are called seasonal breeders. Only in favorable season they will be producing offsprings, or else they won't. All right. Then continuous breeders, mammals that are reproductively active throughout the reproductive phase are called as continuous breeders. Next, senescence, that is old age. It is the last phase. It is the last phase of lifespan and the end of the reproductive phase. During this stage, the metabolism slows down, which ultimately leads to death. In plants and animals, hormones are responsible for the transaction between juvenile, reproductive, and senescence phase. Okay, senescence phase. Events in sexual reproduction. What are the events in sexual reproduction? Pre-fertilization events. This includes all events before the fusion of gametes. All events before the fusion of gametes. All events before the fusion of gametes. It comprises gametogenesis. B, gamete transfer. Next, gametogenesis. It is the process of formation of male and female gametes, haploid sexes. Gametogenesis, formation of male and female gametes. Then homogametes or isogametes. In this type, all gametes are similar. Gametes cannot be categorized into male and female gametes, homogametes or isogametes. The fusion of two such gametes is called isogamy. Isogamy. Example, algae. All right. Example, algae. Isogamy. Example, algae. 7. It's slowing down. One minute. I don't know what's happening here. It's really slow. Heterogametes. In this type, the male and female gametes can be distinguished. Male gametes are called anthrozoids or sperm. The female gametes are known as egg or ovum. Example, human. The union between non-motile egg or ovum or oospore and motile sperm or anthrozoid is called oogamy. Union between non-motile egg and sperm. Motile sperm is known as oogamy. Sexuality in organisms. Bisexual plants. In these plants, male and female reproductive structures are found in same flower. Example, sweet potato. Unisexual or dioecious plants. In plants, in this plants, the male and female reproductive structures are found in different plants. Example, date palm and papaya. In unisex, monoecious or flowering plant, the male and female flowers are present on the same plant. Monoecious, all right? Bisexual, the same flower contains both male and female. In unisexual, dioecious, we have separate male plant and female plant. Or in unisexual, monoecious flowering plant, we have male flowers and female flowers present in same plant. Cucurbits and coconuts. Coconuts are example for this. Then fungi may be homothallic, bisexual, or heterothallic, unisexual. Bisexual animals. Hermaphrodites, earthworms, leech, sponge, tapeworms are examples of these. Then unisexual animals, cockroach, higher animals, etc. are unisexual animals. What happens in cell division? Formation of gametes. The haploid parental body produces a haploid gametes by mitosis. It is seen in Monera, fungi, algae, and bryophytes. The diploid parental body produces haploid gametes by meiosis or in meiotic cysts. That is gamete mother cell. It is seen in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, and animals. Yeah. Then gamete transfer. Male gamete need a medium to move towards female gametes of fertilization. In simple plants such as algae, bryophytes, and pteridophytes, the transfer of gamete takes place through water medium. To compensate for the loss of male gametes during transport, a large number of male gametes are produced. In seed plants, pollen grains containing male gametes are transferred from anthers to stigma, where they germinate to form pollen tube. Pollen tube carries male gametes to egg or female gametes for fertilization. In bisexual or self-fertilizing plants, the transfer of pollen grains to stigma is easy as anthers and stigma are located close to each other. Example, pea plant. In unisexual or cross-pollinating plants, the pollinating agency helps in transfer of pollen grains to stigma. Pollen grains germinate on the stigma and pollen tube carrying the male gametes reach the ovule and discharge male gametes near the egg. In dioecious animals, male and female gametes are formed in different individuals. Organisms usually bear a specific method of gamete transfer. What is fertilization? What is fertilization? It is a fusion of gametes to form. 1 minute. What is fertilization? It is the fusion of gametes to form diploid zygote. It is also known as syngamy. Diploid zygote, also known as syngamy. Parentogenesis. It is a phenomenon where individual formation takes place from the egg without fertilization. The adults produced by parentogenesis are often haploid, and the cells do not undergo meiosis to form new gametes. Example, rotifers, honeybees, some lizards, and birds. Types of fertilization. Depending upon the sites of syngamy, fertilization is of two types. Following two types. External fertilization. In this type, fertilization or syngamy occur in external medium. Example, water. Outside the body of the organism. Example, aquatic organism like algae, bony fish, amphibians. Disadvantages. The offsprings are extremely vulnerable to predators, threatening their survival up to adulthood. Think about this turtles. All right. Almost in thousands of eggs, only within 10 only would hatch and receive adulthood. So each and every tortoise, which comes from sea, deep sea to shore to lay eggs, will be laying thousands and thousands of eggs. And after laying the eggs, it will go off. In that thousands of eggs, only maximum of around 5 to 10 can move into adulthood. Mostly others are eaten by predators. What is internal fertilization? In this type of fertilization or syngamy occurs inside the body. Example, terrestrial organisms belonging to fungi. Animals like reptiles, birds, mammals, and plants like bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. A large number of sperms are produced, but number of eggs is very, very low. All right. Sperms are very, very high. Since the egg is non-motile, it will not move. So 1 or 2 would be enough. But this motile sperms should be more, really, really more. That's why it has been produced in higher numbers. Post-fertilization, it includes even after formation of zygote. What is a zygote? Every sexually reproducing organism begins its life as a zygote. It is vital link between organism of one generation to the next. The development of zygote depends on type of life cycle of organism and the nature of the environment. In fungi and algae, the zygote secretes a thick wall around itself, which makes it resistant against desiccation and damage. What is desiccation? Breaking of that zygote, breaking of the egg. It undergoes a period of rest before germination. An organism with a haplonetic life cycle, the zygote divides by meiosis into haploid spores that grows into haploid individuals. An organism with a diplonetic cycle, the zygote divides by mitosis and develops into diploid embryo. Embryogenesis. It is the process of the development of an embryo from the zygote. The zygote undergoes cell division. Mitosis, and cell differentiation. The cell division increases the number of cells in the embryo. Cell differentiation causes the modification of group of cells into various tissues, organs to form organisms. Finally, the types of animal based on site of development of embryo. Oviparous. Animals lay fertilized or unfertilized eggs. Example, in reptiles, birds. The fertilized eggs covered by the hard calcareous shell are laid in a safe place. After incubation, young ones hatches out. In most amphibians, unfertilized eggs are laid in water by female, where they are fertilized by sperms produced by the male. Amphibians, like frogs, all right? Viviparous. The zygote develops into young one inside the female body. Later, the young ones are delivered from the body. Example, mammals. Because of proper care and protection, the chances of survival of young ones are greater in viviparous. Ovoviviparous. In flowering plants, the zygote is formed inside the ovule. After fertilization, sepals, petals, and stamens of the flower wither and fall off. The zygote develops into embryo and ovules develop into seeds. The ovary develops into fruit, which develop a thick wall called pericarp, which is in turn divided into epicarp, endocarp, and mesocarp, which is protective in function. After dispersal, seed germination under the favorable condition to produce new plants. All right. So this is all about the first lesson, the most important fundamentals of the first lesson. right? All the most important fundamentals of first lesson. With these data, you can easily go through the requirement. Easily go through the requirement. Did you understand the fundamentals, ma? Or did I went really fast while revising? What do you think?
No, sir. Understood, sir.
Understood. Very good. All right. After this, we will go through some very, very important questions from both asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. All right. Let's take a 10 minutes break. After that break, we will go through all whatever important questions which comes from these questions. All right. Most of the important questions. And those are the questions which you may expect for your test for evening. All right, your test for evening. Let's take a 10 minutes break, then we will continue. Which part of plant, when put into soil, is likely to produce new offspring? Which part of plant is likely to produce new offspring? See, the stem cutting with a node when put into the soil is likely to produce new offspring. For example, this Murugakira they used to say, isn't it? We will cut the stem with a node and fix it to produce offspring. A stem cutting with a node, when put into soil, is likely to produce new offspring. Then write the difference between binary fission and budding. Difference between binary fission and budding. Binary fission, cell divides into two equal offs. The division is unequal in budding. Each of the two divides into one minute. The cell divides into two equal halves. Number one, divides into two equal halves. This is unequal. Each of the two divides into equal halves, rapidly grow into adults. The smaller part bud remains attached initially to the parent cell, which eventually gets separated and mature into a new organism. This is not rapid. This is not fast. All right. The parent cell loses its identity. There will not be any parent cell at all. Totally loses its identity. Here, it maintains its identity. Right. Then common error when it comes to these difference, usually get confused about parental identity. All right, parental identity in both processes. Then the differences when as should be compatible, or for all the differences which you are going to write, it should be compatible, specific and precise answers. Answers like present and not present are not acceptable. It should be specific and precise. Next, a male honeybee has 16 chromosomes, whereas female has 32 chromosomes. Give one reason. Male honeybee develops from unfertilized female gamete, or unfertilized egg. Parentogenesis of female gametes, 16 chromosomes. Female developed by fertilization, fertilized 32 chromosomes. Male developed from unfertilized female gamete, known as parentogenesis, that is only 16 chromosomes. That's why it forms 16 chromosomes. But in female, it is produced due to fertilization. Both haploid combine together to form a diploid. That's why we get 32 chromosomes. Detail. In honeybee, an offspring formed from the fusion of sperm and the egg develops as the female queen or worker. An unfertilized egg develops as a male drone by parentogenesis. This shows that the male have half the number of chromosomes that of female. The female are diploid having 32 chromosomes. Males are haploid having 16 chromosomes. This is called haplodiploid sex determination system. Very good. Then identify A in the given diagram and state its function. What is A? This is advantageous buds. Function, vegetative propagation. Half mark for each. Half mark for each. Advantageous buds from the leaves, and this one, when falls down, it will form into new plant. Next type of questions we may expect is assertion and reasoning type of questions. Assertion and reasoning type. What we know, both assertion and reason are true. R is right. R is right. And R is the correct explanation. Both assertion and reason are true, but R is not the correct explanation. Then assertion is true, but reason is false. Assertion is false and reason is false. First question. Zygote developed from unisexual reproduction is diploid. Reason. In sexual reproduction, haploid gamete fuses from zygote to form zygote. One minute. F-O-R-M, form, not from. Right? Explanation. Both assertion and reason are true. Yes, zygote developed from sexual reproduction is always diploid because two haploid combines to form diploid, 2N. In sexual reproduction, haploid gametes fuse to form zygote. Yeah, this is the right reason. Explanation is also true. Reason is also true. Next. Asexual reproduction. One minute. Why it's not moving? Asexual to reproduce is also known, called as syngamy. Reason, in sexual reproduction, there is no formation and fusion of gametes. Explanation. D. Asexual to reproduction is called as syngamy. Syngamy is the fusion of male and female nucleus. So, assertion is false, and the fusion causes sexual reproduction. This is not at all the reason for this. So both are false. Then the third question. Reproduction leads to the continuity of species generation after generation. Okay. Reproduction is a biological process in which organisms give rise to young ones of its own kind. Both assertion and reason are true, and R is the right explanation. Reproduction is a biological process in which an organism give rise to young ones of its own kind. Yes, both are true, and reason for the assertion is also right. Okay, short answer type questions. Short answer type questions. First one, what are gemmules and conidia? Name one organism in which these are formed. Gemmule, an asexual reproductive structure in sponges, is known as gemmule. Conidia, asexual reproduction structure in penicillin. All right. S. Conidia. Gemmule and conidia. Gemmule, asexual reproductive structure in sponges. Conidia, asexual reproductive structure in penicillin. Then, state two advantages of apomictic seeds to a farmer. Advantage of apomictic seed to a farmer. Reduce the cost of hybrid breeding. Desired traits can be maintained without losing. All right, without losing the mother cells. All right, and the mother plant on the loose panama, without losing the mother plant, we can get the data. Example, these one. This given image shows the modified underground stem of a ginger called as rhizome. Rhizomes help in vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. That is when I break this ginger piece and put it in soil, automatically it will start growing. All right. Detailed explanation. The given picture is ginger. In ginger, vegetative propagation occurs through the underground stem called rhizome. The rhizome is the modified underground horizontal stem. Underground stem. All right. Then let's go into long answer. Wait, I will get the questions. Plants like potato, sugarcane do not require seeds for producing new plants. How do they produce new plants? Give two other example where new plants are produced in the same way. Okay. See, plants like potato, sugarcane do not require seeds for producing new plants. How do they produce new plants? Give two examples where new plants are produced in the same way. What do you think, Ma?
Carrot.
Good. All right. New plant arises from nodes present in the modified stem of these plants through vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. When the nodes come in contact with damp soil or water, they produce roots and new plants. Example, banana, ginger, dahlia, bryophyllum. All these undergo vegetative reproduction. They doesn't need strong seeds. By vegetative propagation itself, they are really good at producing. Then the next question, what is lifespan? Mention the lifespan of cow, butterfly, tortoise, banyan tree. Lifespan is the period of time from birth to natural death of organism. Lifespan of A, cow. B, butterfly. Lifespan of cow is how many years? Cow. Butterfly is 2 weeks. Tortoise is 100 to 150 years. Banyan tree is more than 250 years. 250 years, banyan tree. Cow. What would be the lifetime of cow? Would be around
20 years?
For cow, 20 years. All right. 20 years. Yeah. It's approximately 20 years it would take. For calf to develop, it would be taking around 2.5 to 4 years. Then to producing, that is from producing, producing milk. All right. It will always happen after 2 years only. All right. From which brings the total lifespan from birth to death is around 4.5 to 6. After that, the sentence years will be more. All right, sentence year will be more, and approximately it would be around 15 to 20 years would be okay. 15 to 20 years for cow. Right, 15 to 20 years. Then the third question. What is budding? How yeast reproduce and asexually? Draw diagram. All right. The formation of daughter individual cells from a small projection, the bud arising on the parental body, is called budding. It occurs in yeast, sponges, and hydra. The example diagrams, we already went through that example diagram of yeast. Hope you remember, or else. I think this one would be fine. This diagram we already have in notes. That diagram would be fine for this answer. All right, ma. These are the expected questions which came for your finals too. All right, finals too, for the past 3 to 4 years analyzed. And these are the questions which were from the final exams. There are a lot more questions too. We can easily go through this. First, I will save this. Sometimes it's not working. I'm missing the files. All right. Okay. We will take another 5 minutes break. After that break, we will see what and all questions which were asked in your finals in sexual reproduction. One minute, ma. There is some problem. Okay, got it back. The next one is this one. Fertilization between male and female gamete in species specific due to protein fertilizing, which is present on the surface of an ovum, and anti-fertilizing on surface of sperm. It allows the male gametes of a species to fertilize the female gamete of the same species. Fertilization may occur inside or outside the body, female body. The fertilization may be external or internal. Many marine invertebrates release gametes in water. In this case, the sperm swim to reach the egg. There is fertilizing, which is present in the surface of ovum, anti-fertilizing in the sperm. If these two combine, then only it will fuse. Or else, an egg of a frog can be fused with the sperm of a fish, isn't it? So to stop that only, we are having this fertilizing and anti-fertilizing proteins on each and every egg and sperm. These are the data. From this, we are going to get the questions. The first question is regarding fertilization, which statement is incorrect? It restores diploid condition in zygote. It determines the sex of the offspring. It activates which one is incorrect? It restores diploid condition in zygote. It determines the sex of the offspring. It activates egg both physiologically and metabolically. No variation in the embryo. Which one is incorrect? It restores diploid is true. Definitely fertilization determines the sex of the offspring. It activates egg both physiologically and metabolically. No variation in embryo is false, because every fertilization will be forming a new variation. It will be different from the parent, all right? Different from the parent. So D would be the right answer. D would be the right answer. Again, the next question. Syngamy means fusion of gametes, fusion of cytoplasm, fusion of two similar spores, fusion of two dissimilar spores. Syngamy means fusion of male and female gametes. Syngamy means fusion of male and female gametes. The next one. Which of the following animal is bisexual? Which of the following animal is bisexual? Ants, leech, cockroach, wasp. Ants, leech, cockroach, wasp. Which one is bisexual? Which one is bisexual? Actually, leech is bisexual. All right, all these are unisexual. They have separate male and female. The fourth question would be, the external syngamy occurs in case of reptiles, birds, mammals, bony fishes. It is bony fishes. Bony fishes. External syngamy. And the final question of this session. The final question of this session. The fusion of dissimilar gametes is called. The fusion of dissimilar, that is male and female gamete, is called fertilization. All right. How was this biology session, ma?
Good, sir.
Very well.
But get this PDF, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to send it immediately and upload it in YouTube and let everyone listen to her. You want it to be private with yourself or upload the session in YouTube for that everyone can see?
YouTube, sir.
Very good.
So that I can also access quickly.
Sorry?
So that I can also access quickly, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I will put it in YouTube. Thank you, sister. Thank you for your valuable time. We will do I did a lot of research regarding how to take care, because the way the question is being asked, not only data, we are not only reading through the book will be enough. We have to go through a lot of extra questions too. What and all the type of questions can be asked, right? So then I decided, okay, this is the format which they are going to answer and how they are going to mark your answer. That's how I decided, okay, this is one of the good methods. Let me take things together and sort this out. It will be easy for everyone to solve. All right, guys, thanks a lot. It is a big session, but we did a wonderful job. Thank you. Let's meet back in another 1 hour for the next session of the second lesson. Thank you. Bye-bye then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.